My name is Philip Shibata. I'm the guitarist of Rivers and Robots, and I serve full-time in Set Sail with my family. I was born and raised in Canada. I was the second oldest of my 4 siblings. My childhood was great and simple. I go to school, come back home, throw my bag on the floor, go to my garage, grab my hockey stick, my hockey net, and me and my brother, we'd run down the street and we'd play street hockey. And then on Sunday we'd go to church and then we'd repeat that. It wasn't until I turned 12 when my life dramatically changed. I remember my parents calling us down and sitting us in the living room and telling us that we will be moving to Japan to help start a church school and to pastor a church. Japan, a country that is so far away from home, a language that is so foreign to me, a place that I just didn't know anyone. Life in the beginning in Japan was rough. I couldn't speak Japanese, and basically if you can't speak Japanese, you can't really do anything. So making friends was difficult. Not being able to speak your heart or to explain anything was really just tough. And I had people come up to me and say, "Philip, you look like us, but you're not us." And for the first time in my childhood, I just had this identity crisis. At the age of 13, I went to a youth camp. I remember it like yesterday. It was the last evening of the worship service, and I was in this small triangular room. And in Japan, the summer is hot, and on that day, the air conditioning broke. There was 30, 40 teenagers on their knees, worshiping and weeping and praying. And I was in the midst of that, just feeling alone and confused and not understanding how my other teenage friends were able to pour their heart and to have like this real relationship. But then I felt this light but strong, warm but full arms embrace me from behind. And I remember just starting to weep and weep. And that was the first time in my life that all the things that I knew about God in my head, I finally understood with my heart. I want to say that things changed after that, but it was still tough. Japan was still tough. But I wasn't alone. After that encounter, God gave me the hunger to know Him more. I wanted to learn Japanese because I wanted to understand the sermons more. I wanted to learn Japanese because I wanted to pray for people, because I wanted to worship together with my brothers and sisters, and because I wanted to talk about Jesus to people. And sooner or later, I started worship leading in Japanese, and I started writing worship songs in Japanese and singing them in the church, and even having the church sing along. I even got the opportunity to produce and record my first single at the age of 18. Whatever door God opened, I went for it. So when the door opened for me to serve in Israel, I booked my flight and went. That's when I met my lovely wife, Eileen. Then God opened the door to move to Germany, but this time with an engagement ring. Got married and started our Shibata family in the city of Münster. Me and Eileen, we always had this deep desire to serve God in all that we do. So we invested our lives in individual churches and communities. And we began to see a huge need for creative community and ministry amongst the churches. So gradually from a full-time job, God provided us financial support to go part-time, to invest in more churches and communities. And from part-time to a €450 monthly mini job, giving us this opportunity to lead worship nights, outreach events, creative workshop for churches, and one-on-one mentorship. During this time, meeting with Jonathan and Nathan a couple times and being encouraged and inspired by their vision in Set Sail, we went into full-time ministry in worship and music in April of 2017. And in December of 2017, our team grew, and God gave us a beautiful daughter, Odilia Kaya. Becoming a father for me was a dream come true, and to share this moment with my best friend was even a bigger dream. And now being able to serve the Lord with my family was exactly the life that I've always wanted. In the beginning of 2018, God spoke to us saying, "I'm going to send you out of Germany." And for us, we heard that and we prayerfully watched and prepared. And during this time, God provided us people to take on our ministry. In August, I went to Manchester and recorded my first EP with Jonathan and Nathan and Dan producing. And I remember Jonathan and Nathan asking me if I wanted to be the guitarist of Rivers and Robots and work full-time in the ministry of Set Sail. I remember smiling in my heart when they told me about that. And I came back to Germany, and in September, me and Eileen and Odelia went to Manchester to see the guys and to see the ministry and understand more like practically what is this ministry going to be about. So we went back to Germany and prayed, and we replied and told them yes. We began to prepare our transition to move. For Eileen, this was a huge step of faith, as this was her first time moving out of her country and to a place that she's never been. But during our preparation, God just kept on sending us support and encouragement from our local churches, friends and families. And with everyone's love and support from Germany, we packed our lives in one van and we moved to Manchester in February of 2019. And from February on, we've been taking a daily step of faith and seeing God move both in our lives and around us. And when we read and hear from people sharing how this ministry had a huge impact in their faith and even changing lives, we can only step back and thank the Lord that we as a family could serve and set sail.